All right, traders, we see we have only a couple of you with us today. Um, at this time, we just want to ask you to please keep your mic muted so that Barry can complete the analysis. It is Wednesday, July 24th. So we're gonna take a look at some of our pairs that we always look at. We're gonna kind of recap on what we talked about on Sunday and then kind of look at where we speculate price may be heading with some of these pairs in the remainder of this week. If you have any questions, just hold on until the end of the analysis, and then we'll open up the chat for you guys to ask us questions about any pairs you want to see or anything regarding technical analysis. But other than that, Barry, it's all you.
Okay, thank you, Ria. So already we are looking at the gold chart right here. And yeah, this is an area I said we may bounce from because of this pin bar over here. So yeah, it's an area which we are currently on. I hope everyone can see this pin bar, which is just right here. So it's an area that we breached slightly through, then we came back into the area. So right now, of course, if we would have to look for like an entry on gold, it would probably be now. Like this would have been a perfect entry over there. Or we draw again another trend line, but this one would be uneven since it's like overlapping with the candles. So this one would have been the ideal major trend line to enter with. So as of now, I would say gold, yeah, it's probably in an upward direction, though we have got like a very bearish candle here that is engulfing. But we shall see how the week ends. I am hoping to see the market to actually come all the way to the upside around this area. So as for tomorrow, since there's US news, I'm believing like we'll bounce right from here going all the way to the upside. Then maybe next week we may actually come to this area over here or even make a new high because gold has been making new highs. And even if we think of banks like Goldman Sachs, they made a projection that we may actually reach 2,600 and we are already close to 2,600. We're currently on 2,480 area. So we may actually see it even actually go to 2,500, then maybe also some more upward move. So that's what I'm anticipating for gold, some more upside move. As of that, currently, yeah, we're just watching it. We're just watching it. Then we shall see where it goes from here. But if it doesn't really go well, then we may see a breach to the downside here. Then we'll most definitely be aiming back down to 2,320 on gold. So let's move quickly to the other pairs. Like this is just a recap. So yeah, we also have Euro USD. Seem to be going to the downside currently. And yeah, a good area for taking profit is obviously back to the downside. So I'm looking at probably this area where there was a consolidation. Like this is a very big area. So I'm seeing the market even probably tomorrow with the US news to probably come all the way down to 0.7500 maybe because of some red flag news. Then maybe we can finish this off in the next month or so, probably even September, we may be back at these levels of 106,800. Aiming for this downside, like maybe us making a new low. So that's what I'm anticipating on euro dollar. Apart from that, we're just watching it. And yeah, Let's also look at another pair, that's dollar yen. Dollar yen has been seeing very strong downward move. I already said that the market may bounce from this area right here. Since this was a pin bar, it just slightly touched it. They started bouncing, broke this trend line, but then immediately just broke to the downside. And this is where we currently are. What a level of support, but I wouldn't call this a very strong support level because I don't see any pin bars, but support is support. So we may actually be bouncing from this level over here. But overall, if we would have to enter into this market, we would have to break this trend line. But of course, we also need to look at sentiment since we already got a breakdown here, the downside, and we were in like a loss. So we'll probably have to look at sentiment, which we'll do a bit later. So the next one is pound yen. Pound yen is also in the same situation, but there was no entry whatsoever because I was waiting for a break of this trend line. Somebody's mic is on, maybe they can mute themselves. So yeah, I was waiting for a break. Yeah, I was waiting for a break of this trend line, but there was no confirmation. So currently, this trend line is still holding and we are extending it all the way. So we may actually see maybe a break of 200 here. Then, because there are lots of pin bars over here, even this major one over here. So we may bounce. Then if we break the trend line, then maybe we can actually be looking for more upside move to take out this high over there. So as of now, we just keep watching yen. Then I remember last week we discussed silver. Silver currently, it did make a new low because I drew a trend line over here. So it made a new low. So this was like one of it. So I remember there was a member who asked about silver. So currently, this trend line is broken. Same scenario with gold. We don't know if this level will be holding, but it's already broken its trend line, and we may actually see more upside move. If we check the sentiment here, we have so many sellers and very few buyers, so we may actually see this level bounce to the upside, probably coming to take out this high over here around 3,150. But as of now, we're just watching it. So if you'd like to enter this, this would be like a very good risk to reward. I think this is in like a 10-1 on silver as a buy. So that's another one. Another pair we can look at, I believe, is USD Mexican. USD Mexican hasn't really been doing anything. It just went past this level with no even a pullback whatsoever. And yeah, the trend line is still holding. So we may actually push slightly down like this and continue to the upside, maybe probably make a new high. Then maybe that's when you can start actually seeing some downward move. So the next level of resistance, which we're looking at, is already up here. Where is this pin bar? So we can actually anticipate some reversal from these levels of 1860 on US dollar Mexican peso. Then I believe we have covered majority of all the pairs. Let me just check my notes here. One moment. So it's Mexican peso, euro dollar. Oh, we have CAD Swiss. Apparently, there was even Canadian interest rate. So yeah, Canadian dollar actually weakened because of the interest rate. Right now, we are still pushing to the downside. And if you draw a trend line, this is like a very long trend line that has been occurring just right here. Like there's this longer term trend line. Then shorter term trend lines could be like this one over here. So just a break above either one could lead us to the upside. So probably a break above 64750 would be ideal to buy CAD Swiss. And then we'll definitely be aiming to go to the upside with this. Again, we have very few sellers and a lot of people trying to buy here. So there's like a huge imbalance. So till we push the sellers in the middle here, then maybe sellers may be in more control. But as of now, there are too many buyers. So if you like started entering from this level, you'd be like in a huge loss. But we just wait till one of these trend lines are broken. Then
Tawani. Oh,
last,
Rasta. Fine, well done. I'm not. It's not the right thing to do.
hello, could you please mute your mic? Okay, so last but not least is NAS 100. We had a rejection here. This again, I said it was a steep trend line. It didn't seem like a textbook kind of trend line. We broke it to the upside. Then we gapped just I think today to the downside, and we seem to be coming here to this support level. We may bounce from that, but as of now, we just keep watching it because this is like a consolidation area. So we'll see if we do bounce from this area, then start going to the upside and probably make a new high. So we just keep watching NAS 100. So now let us just quickly look at the sentiment. Okay, let's just quickly look at sentiment for dollar yen. Sentiment. Okay. Let me just share my screen. Okay. So let's look at the sentiment here. So with dollar yen, we have like, yeah, this is where like we have too many people buying dollar yen. So yeah, that's why probably it did not even work out for a buy. Same scenario with pound yen, dollar CAD would be an interesting scenario because we have to like probably push this back all the way here. We have too many sellers. And which one else? Is it CAD Swiss? CAD Swiss. Where is CAD Swiss? So yeah, CAD Swiss has very few sellers. Same thing. We need to push it back all the way here and it has too many buyers. So overall, this figure is too little, so it needs to be balanced back into the market. Then we can probably see upside move with CAD Swiss. Gold, we have very few buyers, so there's a possibility that this pullback is temporarily, and we may actually go to the upside. And then with silver, it's 50-50. But I do believe it will follow gold as well, going to the upside. So that is what we are looking at for this coming week. So any questions or pairs that you'd like us to look at before we conclude our session today? Any pairs or questions whatsoever? Okay, pound New Zealand. Okay, let's look at pound New Zealand. Right. There seems to be somebody's mic that is on. Please mute yourself. Okay. So pound New Zealand is strongly pushing to the upside up to now. So it's, I guess, in a similar scenario with Euro New Zealand as well. So as for pound New Zealand, I believe we are breaching a lot of support resistance levels, like this one was breached. So I don't know where we currently are. Let me just go to some higher time frames. Let's go to the daily. Yeah, we have this pin bar from last year. So it seems that's where we're bouncing from. So most likely we are bouncing from its level of 217, then maybe coming to the downside. But of course, we would need to draw a trend line. And this trend line is really steep, I would say. So would need a very good pullback. The pullback is coming, that's for sure, on pound New Zealand. We just don't know when. It could be tomorrow. So we'll definitely have a pullback that will come probably down here to this level of 216. Then maybe start making a new high like so. Then from there, we can possibly draw a trend line that will mark this previous low. Then we'll wait for the market to probably break this level, and then we can see some possible downward move, even to 207. 207 seems like a very possible level that we can reach because it's been parabolically been going up, like a majority of New Zealand pairs have been against New Zealand dollar. So we may actually see some strength from New Zealand dollar coming very soon. So we can just anticipate that and wait because these are just like really parabolic moves with New Zealand dollar. But any other pair that you'd like us to look at? Question? Oh, yes. Musa, you can turn on your mic if you have any questions or pair. And there's another person who has their mic on. Please kindly mute yourself. Okay. So, Musa, you can turn on your mic and ask your question or the pair that you'd like us to look at. But if there's anyone else, of course, you can also ask which other pair you'd like us to look at, or if there are any questions. What about urea? Is there anything you'd like us to look at?
Um, let me check.
Okay.
Um, ooh, I just saw Aussie, Swiss franc just broke a level of support.
Swiss franc. Which one? Dollar Swiss?
Aussie, Swiss.
Oh, ours is Swiss. Oh, yes, your favorite pair, isn't it? I
Yeah,
know
it
you
just broke
always.
an area of support. So I anticipate I mean, I would look for a pullback and see.
Okay, I
It is,
actually think what's really going on is Aussie, New Zealand, these two currencies are actually very weak across the whole board. That's what
yeah.
I noticed. So if we take a look at Aussie dollar, we have exactly the same thing. If we take a look at GBP AUD, exactly the same thing. So yeah, it's just across the whole board that Aussie and New Zealand dollar
Mhm.
are actually weak. So, but they seem to be coming to this kind of pin bar because I'm sure you saw this as well on pound New Zealand. There's like a pin bar, like a really long wick.
Yes,
So I believe
correct.
the market is trying to fill out this wick. Like there were probably orders here or something that have been running since like April. So I think these wicks are gonna be filled. Like it's all actually gonna come to the downside here. So recommendation I even remember this from way back in 2019 when there was a flash crash. So I don't know if anybody is from way back there, if they started trading 2019. But I remember there was a flash crash and there was a long wick, and that wick got filled like after a few months. So I believe this is the same similar scenario. So sales would be good on Aussie Swiss. That's what I can recommend. Sales would be good on Aussie Swiss. You can probably wait for like a pullback, or you can just enter right now and then just aim for this level over here. That's what I believe is actually happening right now. So yeah, this is like textbook type of feels with Wix. So yeah, anyone who's watching this attest to this. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. So I'm just saying, it's because I've seen this before happen. So
yeah.
maybe just making sure you tighten your stop losses so that you're not losing as much. So even probably going down a time frame lower would be ideal, like a 15-minute. Because anywhere you entered on this trade for Aussie Swiss, going to the downside, you'd automatically be in profit. That's a fact. So, like maybe this is a good stop loss area right there. That's what I believe, like right here. This can be like a very good stop loss area. Since we have already broken a new low here. So this may be like your risk. Then your reward would be just like aiming for the downside. So it this is just like a very good idea to enter into this kind of market if you even know like what it's already aiming for. It's been a free fall or a rocket to the moon if it's the other direction. So that's what's happened with Aussie and New Zealand dollar. So we just need to keep watching or trade it. Other people are waiting for that support level to actually show a very good reversal. Others are already trading it to fill it. So it's just totally up to you what you want to do with Aussie and New Zealand dollar. Yeah. But of course, Ria, yeah, this is your pair. Do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. The Australian pairs, they tend to move slower at times than other pairs, but it's like I never really have to guess what it's gonna do because it's it's fairly consistent,
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's slow and steady. That's what I can say.
yeah.
Slow and steady.
I think that's
Yeah.
why I appreciate the Australian pairs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then
So,
also too, I'm a Tokyo trader, so
okay.
um usually the pairs that are going, having movement during the Tokyo session
Mm-hmm.
are usually the pairs I like to look at.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. It's actually really ideal. So, yeah, you focus on this. I believe it will pay out really well. So, that's the risk right there. Let's see if this actually goes well for this coming week. And yeah, all the best to you traders. I guess this is where we also conclude with our session tonight. But if you have any more questions whatsoever, you can even just ask in the Discord right there. Then I'll be glad to assist. Yeah. But anyways, see everybody all on Sunday. We see how this market moves, and also make sure you use your stop losses as usual and manage your risk so that you are not blown away by the markets. Yeah. So see everybody on Sunday, same time, same place. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Barry.
Most welcome.